The more people are using AI to vent about their problems, to discuss what is going on, and trying to have like a partner to think with them about all the problems that are happening in their careers and their lives, the more alone they feel. This is something that is coming in an interesting article published by Harvard Business Review now in June 2026, where Hadley and Wright wrote about the AI and human connection at work. I think it's very interesting data, and even though you disagree with some of the points here, there is still a great reflection to do about our relationship with technology. According to the report, thousands and thousands of workers in the US who were researched, they said they feel lonely at work recently. And of course, the article is focusing a lot on AI. I try to step back and look more broadly because right now we see a big transformation in terms of how work is done in the world, right? You have hybrid work models, you have people working from home more frequently, and you have many different ways for the teams to connect. Basically, you don't have anymore the traditional way where people go to the office, they see each other every day, they have lunch together, they go to the coffee machine and they talk about movies and the soccer game last night. You don't have that anymore in all the cultures and all the different companies, right? So you have, of course, a different work relationship. So you cannot just judge AI here. But the article is bringing a very interesting reflection on how AI is playing a role of being a supporter in some aspect for people, discussing their problems and asking for suggestions at the same time that they don't have the human connection or the human aspect of the discussion with further problems. And of course, the conclusion is quite obvious, together with the critic here, that AI does not replace connection, of course not. And over time, it can even, according to the article, erode the collaboration. It can erode trust and even some social skills. Because the less you interact with humans, the less you know how to interact with humans. It's quite obvious, but it's something that is happening right now. And one of my biggest concerns is, of course, with the new generations joining the workforce, because for a long time, people understood how to interact with their colleagues and they improved their social skills based on learning. Like they did something, it was not good, they did something that was good, they learn with that, and they know how to interact with other people at work. But for the younger generations joining the workforce right now, they are seeing a impressive number of information being generated every day. They have AI, they have virtual meetings, they have emails, they have virtual tools to connect with their team members. They have still, of course, the office. So everything is happening at the same time, but not in enough time for people to develop those social skills. So there's a big concern how the people joining your company are being prepared to work with other humans. Basically, the article also brings the aspect of the soft skills. And I'm saying this many, many times in different videos and content I've been creating, that the soft skills are not being just a differentiator anymore, but it's being like essential skills that are important for you to work with other people. Because the more AI jumps into like a task that can be automated and technical things, the more important are the human connections, the things that only humans can do: the judgment, the connection, the negotiation, the argumentation about problems and solutions, the confrontation when a conflict arrives, the confrontation with other human beings. Because according to the famous Patrick Lencioni's book on team building, conflicts are important, discussions are important. There is this phase where the team is going to have a stormy moment where things are going to be will look like they are breaking, but this is where the team is building real connection. And this will never happen between humans and machines or machines with machines. You need to have a human to human connection here. So the reflection is, of course, maybe quite obvious, but I still want to ask you the question anyway. How much of your interaction last week was purely based on a human to human connection? And how are you making sure that your social skills are being at least used in a normal day? And if you have a management and leadership position, how those concerns are being discussed in your company right now? Are you considering that you have new generations joining the work that have no idea about how to interact with other people? And maybe you need to support them, train them on those preparations and all those moments of conflicts of where people connect, disagree, agree, and connect. How are you building those moments, even though you have hybrid work, remote work, you have AI? How are you still building this kind of team building moments? That's the question I am reflecting right now, and I invite you to reflect with me. Because AI is here, of course, to help. You see my content. I'm not criticizing AI itself, but I'm asking you, how are you preparing yourself to deal in a world where you have AI with you, but also have human colleagues that you need to interact, to get along, and of course, to build great things together?